We have understood the idea of probability and the definition, and we understood that probability is just the mathematical entity to describe what is going to happen in future and how likely or unlikely we are going to get that particular outcome which we are expecting. We have let's dive in a little more into probability and understand why we want to learn probability, right? So, like in our life, it's not something is not certain, right? So if I'll say I'll be reaching airport say in 60 minutes or something, or I can say like then I am 100% sure or I'm 50% sure that I'll reach airport on time or something. The moment I say that I'm not sure or I'm sure, right? And if the moment I give you a number associated with it, you will have a clear idea what I'm talking about. So the life is not certain, and we always wanted to gauge some chances of successful outcome, right? And be it business, be it medicine, or be it the weather thing, we always wanted to pick up something, to assign mathematical entity to that particular thing, right? The particular event. And what this probability gives us provides a quantitative description of the chances or likelihood associated with various outcomes, which means that I also wanted to have the numbers which will give me a more clear pictures about what is going to happen, or anything which is going to happen in future. Now, if you talk about, if you get into deep of probability, it actually helps you connect the descriptive and inferential statistics, and I'm going to tell you like how it is going to help you out, right? So if you just think about the population and sample, so if I have a population, right, which I'm talking about, for example, if I wanted to know how many people use email address, or how many people have got double connection, mobile connection in the country, then I have a population, right? This is my area of study, right, which I wanted to study. And if I wanted to pick up, like say for example in India, if I wanted to know how many people have got dual mobile connection, now it's very difficult for me to go ahead and read 1.25 billion people out there, and it's very difficult for me to identify whether it is there or not, like how many people have got. By the time I'm done with my analytics, right, it's the people have changed. So some people have closed their connection, some people have bought more connection. I'm never accurate, right? So there's no point reading the population out there. But what we can do is I can pick up certain cities in India, and I can go over there and I pick up random people out there and just take a sample basically, right? So if I talk about the population and sample theory, right, probability is picking up the gap between population and sample, and I would like to give you one example for the same in a moment. But if you think about so for example, if I say say I studied 10,000 people, and out of 10,000 people I found out that there are 55 people, or you can say like 500 people are there which who have like double mobile phone connection. I can just simply say that maybe my population is also doing the similar kind of thing. So out of 10,000 people, 500, and I can say out of 1,000 people, 50 people, and out of 100 people, 5 people have at least dual mobile connection, right? I can safely say that, right? But this is when we are predicting sample to population. Now what will happen, this is where we actually put in statistics into it. Like when I'm picking up a sample and I'm predicting about the population, how accurate I might be. So in one city I've taken a sample, and where out of 10,000 people, 500 people have got the dual mobile phone connection. I go to another city, I talk to 10,000 people, and there I found out that 600 people have got dual mobile phone connection. I went to another city, and then I've taken 100 different cities, and in 100 different cities I've taken 10,000 people each as a batch, and I found out the different numbers. And from that sample, right, I have run my statistical analysis on that, and I'm trying to predict about my population, which is much more easier way to do are like predicting about the population. But where exactly this probability comes into the picture? For example, if I know that like from all the telecom provider in India, that how many connection one person has. Suppose I have a directory of all people in India where we wanted to know how many connections they have. and I say that out of 125 million people, say like we have the population of 125 million people, 125 million people, say we actually found out that 3% or 5% of the people have got the dual mobile phone connection. So whenever I'll be picking up a sample, right, say I picked up a random city and then random 10,000 people, so I would assume that out of like, if 5% of the people are having dual mobile phone connection in the population, in sample also I should see the same trend. So there are higher chances that when I go and read about the sample will also have 5% of the dual mobile phone connection. So that there's a bridge between population and sample. So when we predict sample from the population, probability comes into the picture. When we pick up sample and try to predict about the population, then statistics comes into the picture, right? So it provides a bridge between descriptive and inferential statistics, right? So let me give you this example over here, right? For example, if I go to a city, for example, California, right? If I know the exact proportion of car makes in California, then I can find out the probability that the first car I see on the street is Ford or Maruti or any other car, right? For example, if I know that 20% of the automobiles which are going on in a particular city, are 20% of the cars are actually sold by Ford, for that matter, or Toyota, for that matter, right? So I have a point two probability that the first car I'll see, if I go on random road and I see a car which is coming towards me on the road, which is crossing the street, I can say that there's 0.2 probability which will say that this car is going to be Ford, because 1/5 cars are Ford, and I would say if the 5 cars are passing by from that street, I would say one car should be approximately, it should be Ford. However, if I do not know the proportions of car makes in California, but I would like to estimate them, then I would pick up a random sample. I'll go on any road and I'll pick up that the 100 cars or 10,000 cars which are passing by, and I can find out that out of 10,000 cars, 2,150 cars belong to Ford. So I can safely say 21.5% of those cars which in the city are actually, they belong to Ford, right? This is and then we have the statistical measurement to make sure that our predictions are correct. Then this is called as statistical reasoning. So I hope you're getting this point, why we need to learn the probability and what is the difference between probability and the statistical reasoning, and how probability is actually helping a lot of corporates or you can say companies to predict about their population. I'll see you in the next lecture.